Welcome to today's episode where we're diving into the world of Node.js best practices. Whether you're a seasoned developer, a newbie, or somewhere in between, there's something here for everyone. Let's get into it. So, when it comes to Node.js, you might be wondering, what exactly makes a practice a best practice? Well, it's all about writing efficient, clean, and maintainable code that performs well and is secure. Our journey today is guided by insights gathered from numerous articles and contributions from experts in the field. Let's start with project architecture. One of the first recommendations is to structure your solution by business components. Imagine you're organizing a massive library. Wouldn't it be easier if each section had clear boundaries and labeled categories? Applying that concept here, by having components represent distinct products or modules like user component or order component, you can develop and deploy faster. This modular design minimizes the mental overhead, making it easier to implement changes without the fear of breaking other modules. Transition sound. Next up is layering your components. This involves setting up a three-tier architecture: an entry point for your controllers, a domain layer for business logic, and a data access layer for database interactions. Think of this as organizing your kitchen. You wouldn't put the pots on the refrigerator, right? When you keep your concerns separate, it allows for more straightforward modifications and testing. But what happens when your application grows? You might find yourself needing to reuse certain functionalities across multiple projects. That's where wrapping common utilities as independent packages comes in handy. By encapsulating reusable modules, you can maintain cleaner code and potentially publish these packages for others to use. Now, on to error handling. Handling errors in Node.js is crucial. A significant tip here is to use async await or promises for managing async errors. Picture this: using callbacks can lead to what's colloquially called the pyramid of doom. Async await flattens that pyramid, making your code cleaner and easier to understand. Next, you'll want to extend the built-in error object. This means creating a custom class that brings additional properties to help track issues efficiently. When you catch an error, having a consistent structure allows for better error management, much like how a good referee helps maintain order in a football game. Moving along, in terms of code style practices, the use of ESLint can't be overstated. Think of it as a spell checker for your code. It helps catch errors early, preventing potential headaches later on. And of course, as you're writing your code, you should prefer const over let. It promotes immutability, which can make debugging simpler, like having a reliable friend who always keeps their promises. Transition to testing practices. Let's not forget testing. At the heart of solid development practices lies testing, specifically API testing. It's often the easiest and most critical step to ensure your application behaves as intended. Each test should ideally be self-explanatory, resembling a good recipe. You want to know what you're about to cook, what ingredients, conditions you need, and what the end dish expected outcome should be. Now, we can't overlook production practices. When you're preparing to launch, monitoring becomes a game changer. It's crucial to define the metrics that matter. Ever heard the phrase, out of sight, out of mind? In the digital realm, if you're not monitoring your application, potential issues will sneak up on you, like a cat prowling around. But wait, let's talk about security. From using linter security rules,